The train keeps rolling for the Houston Astros. An incredible run.
Last night, Astros fans welcomed back the 2022 World Series champions, and Houston got a first look at the banner that now hangs here at Minute Maid Park. 2022, right under 2017. The two-time champs also received their rings here on championship weekend. The ring ceremony taking place just a few minutes ago. These guys getting their very first look at what this hardware looks like. A lot of these guys first-time champions, so they are soaking it all in, including manager Dusty Baker, who is very excited to receive his ring today. We want to welcome everyone into opening week. It's presented by Front Door as we get you ready for Astros versus White Sox. This is game 2 of a 4-game set. Christian Javier making his season debut. He will be up against Lance Lynn for Chicago over there. But earlier, a very special moment for everyone. It's been a special couple of days here at Minute Maid Park, and we are so happy that you're here with us for our first regular season game broadcast on AT&T Sportsnet. We are excited to bring you Astros baseball all season long. I'm Julia Morales. This team, though, on a mission today. They dropped that first game to the White Sox yesterday. Dusty telling me earlier it did not sit well with these guys. They want to win for the home crowd, so expect a lot of energy from these defending world champions. Speaking of champions, it's time to introduce the champions in the booth. Todd Callis, Jeff Blum will have the call tonight. TK Blummer, how are you, my friends?
We're doing great, Julia. So good to be back with you for our 7th season. And Blummer's got the special jacket with a little addition to it. It's got the 2022 World Series champ patch in addition to 2017. Blummer, what a run it's been for the first 6 years we worked together.
It's been unbelievable, TK. We knew that this team was developing, and everybody said trust the process. We have been through the process, and now we are reaping the benefits. Some amazing numbers on your screen as you see 512 wins in your last 5 full regular seasons. That is better than any other team in franchise history that has been able to go out there during these generations of winning. They have had only one 100-win season. That was back in 1998 before this run that we were watching them on. It has been a joy to watch these guys play. It's been a joy to watch them turn into professional winners when they take the field, and it's absolutely contagious.
Yeah, more wins than any other 5 years, any 5 in franchise history before this run. A familiar ring. The Astros collecting their 2nd World Series championship ring in a half dozen years. We'll have more getting ready for the first pitch right around the corner. That coming soon. Astros are ready to reign. We'll have a special introduction to our first telecast when we come back.
They got back in 2019. They won 107 games that year. Last year they got there again. They were favored again. Tucker comes on. Kyle Tucker. This time they finish the job. The Houston Astros, world champions.
The Houston Astros are the undisputed kings of baseball. A 6-year ascension of conquest and championships, lifting themselves into the rarefied air of the game's legendary elite.
Dusty Baker has his ring. He's a baseball legend, and he has the ring that everybody wanted him to get.
You know, I always said before that if I win 1, you know, I'll win 2.
But even as the kingdom prospers and the banners fly, there are challenges to the throne and worlds to conquer.
This game is turned upside down!
The Astros on top of the world once again.
Now, their place in history secure, they're ready to reach beyond the mountaintop and see how high they can go.
A titanic drive for the ages.
Test the limits of greatness and extend their dominance far beyond what anyone thought possible.
Ring the bell! It's won the World Series!
Welcome back to the golden age of Astros baseball. A dynasty that's ready to reign.
Looking for a 4th World Series appearance in the last 5 seasons. We welcome you back to Minute Maid Park, where just about half an hour ago, the entire team and coaching staff and support staff received their 2022 World Series championship rings. And now they are ready to reign for another year, looking for back-to-back titles, and 3 in the last 7 years. Todd Callis, Jeff Blum, Julia Morales, our first broadcast of the season. We are ready to go on a Friday night. Christian Javier, who last pitched in Game 5 of the World Series and made a little history in the process, part of that no-hitter for the Astros to gain a 3-2 series advantage, or Game 4 of the World Series, to tie up the series at 2. They would win Game 5 and go on and win Game 6 and wrap up the World Series in 6 games. Javier, early on, Blummer, having a little trouble with pitch count.
Yeah, that's a good way to slow things down and really embrace the moment and enjoy the fact that we are back on air, which is a beautiful thing. But Christian Javier still delayed in making that first start of this 2023 season. You can see it last season. Put up phenomenal numbers. 25 of those 30 games were out of that starting role. He's earned that spot in the rotation. Great numbers with a 2.54. That number at 170 with the batting average against, one of the best in the league.
So pitching on Game 2 of the 2023 regular season, and Christian Javier to Tim Anderson. We're underway, and the first pitch is up and in, ball 1. Astros losing the home opener last night to the White Sox 3-2. A game that was decided by the bullpens. Usually that's advantage Astros, but it wasn't the case last night as Anderson misses that fastball. It's 1-1. What a night, Blummer, it was for us to be fans, and now we get a chance to broadcast our first game. But last night was a very special night in the first game back at Minute Maid.
It was. It's always good to get back inside this stadium. You can really feel the joy that was in this ballpark yesterday. It kind of had that intense atmosphere because there were so many people in this building, but at the same time, it wasn't the intensity. It was that sheer joy of witnessing another banner being lifted in the rafters.
Nothing new for Christian Javier, getting a swing and miss in a hitter's count. The 1-0 and 2-1 pitches have been fastballs that Anderson has missed, and now Javier has even the count at 2 apiece. And the count will run full as that pitch rides inside. It's a full count for Christian Javier. Framber Valdez went 5 innings in his start last night. The Astros used 4 different relievers for an inning apiece out of the bullpen. And up and in, ball 4. Javier walks Tim Anderson to start this game. Anderson's been on base a lot in this series already. That's his 4th time on base for the White Sox. Speaking of the White Sox, here's how they line things up with their new manager, Pedro Grifol. Tim Anderson, you just saw, lead off with a walk, followed by Luis Robert Jr., Andrew Benintendi, the newest White Sox, in left field. Eloy Jimenez DHs, Yohan Moncada at third, Gavin Sheets, Yasmani Grandal, Oscar Colas gets his first major league start, and Elvis Andrus will bat 9th and play second base. It was a disappointing season last year for the White Sox. They had a lot of injuries throughout the year, including this guy, Luis Robert Jr., who played in 98 games and had 3 different stints on the IL. Anderson will have to be watched over at first base. He was a perfect 13 of 13 last year in steals, and there's a swing and a miss, 0-2. Major League Baseball's new rules are trying to advance the stolen base game, and we saw it last night with 21 steals throughout Major League Baseball. That was the most of opening day in over 100 years. Big lead for Anderson, but the pitch home instead, a swing and a miss, and Christian Javier has his first strikeout of the season, getting Luis Robert Jr.
Good slider on that pitch for Christian Javier. We'll take a peek at it on our MD Anderson strike zone. Set everything up with that fastball, but did a good job of keeping that slider down below the zone and getting the swing over the top.
Now Javier facing Andrew Benintendi. There goes Anderson, big jump, maybe no chance for Maldi. He couldn't have thrown him out if he made the absolute perfect throw in the quickest pop time ever. Anderson stole that on Javier.
He did. Javier focusing on the hitter at home plate. Huge jump for Tim Anderson. You could kind of see him early on in that first at bat with Luis Robert, where he was kind of getting that walking lead. Javier never really stopped him.
A reminder, as you watch our first telecast of 23, there are a lot of rules that will enhance the stolen base game. A pitcher can only disengage from the rubber twice during the plate appearance. So while Benintendi's up there, Javier can only go over to first twice, or if he steps off the rubber, that counts as a disengagement as well. Then on the third one, you either have to pick off the runner or it's called a balk. And the bases are also a little larger, so by a very small, minute margin, you do have a shorter distance between first and second with the larger bases. Now it's 1-2 on Benintendi as he chops a foul. Benintendi, the big acquisition by the White Sox in the offseason, a 5-year, $75 million deal signed by the White Sox this offseason. They lost Jose Abreu, obviously, to the White Sox, and they added this lefty stick, who's been primarily in Kansas City lately, but last year spent part of the season with the New York Yankees. One-two pitch is fouled straight back. Benintendi adds a lefty stick to their lineup. Tim Anderson, Luis Robert Jr., Eloy Jimenez, and last year Jose Abreu, all right-hand hitters near the top of their lineup. Benintendi, always a pesky hitter, staying alive at 1-2. Benintendi began his career with the Red Sox, was there from 2016 through 2020, then the last 2 years with Kansas City before he became a member of the New York Yankees last year in a deal on July 27th, right before the trade deadline. Played 33 games with the Yankees, 93 with the Royals. Grounds this one slowly to second base. David Hensley's first chance of the season, and that's out number 2. Speaking of Hensley, let's take a look at the Astros starting defense presented by Xfinity. You've got Hensley making his first start at second. You've got the Gold Glover Kyle Tucker in right. You've got the Gold Glover Jeremy Payne at short, first rookie ever to win a Gold Glove. Around the infield as well, Alex Bregman, David Hensley, and Jose Abreu. In addition to Tucker in the outfield, you've got Jake Myers at center and Yordan Alvarez at left, and there is Martin Maldonado behind home plate. First pitch foul tip by Eloy Jimenez, 0-1. Jimenez, the designated hitter tonight. Only member of the White Sox lineup without a hit last night. The White Sox pounded out 11 hits in that 3-2 win against the Astros. Jimenez went 0 for 5 as he takes one up, 1-1. Jimenez also had injury issues last year, only played 84 games. Had a right hamstring issue that cost him some time early in the season. But once he came back, he really hit the ball hard. Misses that pitch from Javier. It's 1-2.
Mattress Firm Supermo is going to show you that slider from Christian Javier. May have gotten away from one hanging up in the zone. Eloy Jimenez aggressive up top. Might set him up for a fastball at the top of the zone and get a swing underneath, maybe for another one of those strikeouts that we've become accustomed to with Christian Javier. 194 of them last season.
They're going to call a disengagement there on Javier. Javier claiming he's still having an issue with the pitch comp. Pitch home is popped high in the air. If it's playable, it's the end of the inning, but it's going to drift about 3 rows back behind the screen as Maldonado gave it a look.
How was that fastball up? He just wasn't able to get it past Jimenez as we have more pitch comm issues. Rob Drake, the home plate umpire, going out to check. It's actually a pretty professional courtesy by Rob Drake. There's a lot of pressure on home plate umpires this season to use their discretion and judgment in some of these situations.
A lot more for the home plate umpire to be involved with this new system than ever before. There's a line drive base hit into left center field. The White Sox on the board first. This ball will go all the way to the wall. Played there by Jake Myers. Eloy Jimenez on a 1-2 pitch has an RBI double, and the Sox lead at 1-0.
That's that slider that stayed up in the zone again. Jimenez saw that one nicely and got the barrel to it. You'll see it again on the Mattress Firm Supermo, just hanging up there, and Jimenez gets those hands above the baseball nicely, drives in the first run of the game.
Initial walk to Tim Anderson comes around to score, and now Javier will face Yoan Moncada. Moncada takes a called strike. See the numbers for Yoan Moncada. Atypical career lows for Moncada. Now age 27. Chops one high off the plate. Javier waits for it to come down and makes the quick transfer to get the final out of the inning. But Christian Javier allows a first inning run. Chicago won. White Sox lead the Astros, who are coming to bat. On Alvarez hitting third. Jose Abreu in the cleanup spot. Kyle Tucker hits fifth. Corey Jokes will make his major league debut. David Hensley at second base. Jake Myers in center, and Martin Maldonado behind the plate.
Right-hander Lance Lynn, the veteran, facing the Astros again. He has not had recent success in his last 6 starts against the Astros. He is 0-6 in those last 6. Last season was limited to 21 starts while dealing with a knee injury to start the season. Finished with a sub-4 ERA.
Jeremy Pena last night started out the game against Dylan Cease with a base hit. Jeremy would also steal a base, but after the Pena base hit, Cease did not allow another base runner till he hit Yordan Alvarez with a pitch. As Pena chops one to third, that wasn't until the 7th inning. Cease retired 19 in a row at one point. As Moncada makes the play on Jeremy Pena for the first out in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, safe to say that Dylan Cease kind of pitched with malicious intent yesterday and actually came out of the chute in that first start with excellent stuff. The breaking ball looked incredibly sharp. And anytime you can ramp it up to 98 miles an hour, it kind of sets up that breaking ball nicely, which he did.
I was noticing last night, we didn't see much from Framber Valdez in terms of using pitch comm from a pitcher's perspective, but Dylan Cease was pretty much calling his whole game from the mound. Haven't noticed yet if Lance Lynn has gone to the pitch comm. There is Dylan Cease, who finished runner-up to Justin Verlander in the Cy Young Award last year. Here's Alex Bregman. Bregman's always had good numbers against the White Sox, a 1,085 OPS in his career coming in to last night's game. Did go 0 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts last night. And this ball on a 2-0 pitch sent to center. Robert on the move, and he will flag it down as he crosses onto the warning track in right center. Hit pretty well by Alex, but Robert makes the play for the second out.
Yeah, the Astros usually take some pretty good passes at Lance Lynn just because he's a majority fastball guy. And in this day and age of baseball, that's a rarity. If you'll work off that 2-seam, 4-seam fastball, throw that cutter. Also has a little bit of a curveball, but all of his off-speed pitches other than the fastball and the cutter are under 10% as far as usage is concerned. So you can kind of sit on that velocity. It's just a matter if it's going to sink or cut.
One guy who likes sitting on that velocity is Yordan Alvarez, 6 for 12 with a double and a home run in his career against Lance Lynn. Yordan scored both runs of the game for the Astros last night after he was hit by a pitch with that delivery from Dylan Cease in the 7th inning. He would eventually come around on a wild pitch, and then he brought himself home in the 9th inning with a monumental, majestic blast into right center field. Only 3 spring training games, but he doesn't look like he needs many more at-bats than what he accumulated this spring, as he looks ready to go at the start of the season. Didn't like that call. It's 2-1.
You know who doesn't care about the amount of at-bats Yordan Alvarez has? The opposing pitcher, because they're going to pitch to him very delicately throughout the year.
2-1 pitch lofted into left field, playable for Benintendi. Lance Lynn with a 1-2-3 first inning. After 1, it's White Sox 1, Astros nothing.
Telling how far he's come. Remember, 18 years old, signed for just $10,000. Debuted in 2022, made 9 starts in 2021. Those most appearances out of the bullpen for him, though. Last year could not crack the rotation because of how many options the Astros had, but he posted each time out. He was moved into there, impossible to take him out. You guys know the rest of the story. He signed that 5-year contract extension with mom and dad in attendance. Extremely emotional day for Christian, who said he was choking back tears thinking about this opportunity, thinking about the opportunity from the Astros, and he's just getting started. TK, GM Dana Brown, of course, new GM, saying this is part of his vision, securing contracts long-term for guys like him. If you have an opportunity to get a guy that has great makeup and great ability, that's huge long-term.
He gets a chopper off the bat of Gavin Sheets. David Hensley makes his second play of the game. Yeah, quite a success story for a guy signing for $10,000 to now signing a 5-year, $64 million deal. And like Julia said, well-deserved.
Yeah, it's pretty remarkable, too. And the difference between 2021 and 2022 is he ramped up in the innings, ramped up on the strikeouts, but guess what stayed the same, or almost similar, was the home runs allowed and the walks. So that's pretty impressive stuff to be able to maintain those numbers, even they were a little inflated in 2021, but to have those big numbers jump with innings and strikeouts, yet the power numbers are staying the same. It's pretty impressive.
Yasmani Grandal delivers a single into center field. Grandal, who went 1 for 4 with a game-tying home run in last night's game, has a hit in his first at-bat tonight. Well, Christian turned 26 years old on Sunday. And in the last 3 years of pitchers who have thrown 300 or more innings, there is nobody close, as you can see right there, to Christian Javier in opponent's batting average. It's 178, and then you got a bunch of guys bunched up between 195 and 200. But that is a big jump from Javier to Corbin Burns, the next closest.
Yeah, almost 20 points. It's incredible. They're all pitching at the same level, right?
Yeah. Javier has already allowed more hits in this game than he did in the ALCS and World Series combined when he allowed 1 hit over 11 innings. That's right. In 2 starts, 1 against the Yankees, 1 against the Phillies, he allowed a total of 1 hit. He could get 2 here. Hensley will shuttle to Jeremy Pena, who makes the turn. Oscar Colas hits into an inning-ending double play. After 1.5, it's still 1-0 Chicago.
Abreu, we've seen him for years in that White Sox black and white uniform doing damage against opposing teams. But how about the 133 weighted runs created plus? That is 8th amongst active players with 1,000 or more games, and that is his career number. There's a lot of players that would like to have that in a full season, but that is the body of work that Jose Abreu is bringing into this season for the Houston Astros.
After 9 years and 1,270 games with the White Sox, Abreu last night played his first game in a Houston Astros uniform, his first game in another Major League uniform other than the White Sox. Had a great embrace with the catcher Yasmani Grandal before his first at bat. And here he is back in game number 2, the first player in Astros history to ever wear number 79, and he gets to wear it in a gold uniform here the first 2 games of the season. Got a 2-0 count against his former teammate Lance Lynn, and Lance misses outside with a fastball. And Lynn, who rarely walks anybody, has fallen behind Abreu 3-0, so Jose might find a pitch to his liking here, and I would assume he would have a green light.
Take a chance.
Instead, he watches one go above the strike zone. So Lynn, who one of the best in command in baseball, walks Abreu on 4 pitches.
I can only imagine the nerves for Jose Abreu spending 9 years in one uniform. You immediately sign as a free agent with the Houston Astros, and the very first team you face is your organization you came up with.
It was unbelievable watching him on the line yesterday and seeing how many of his teammates acknowledged him from across the way. And for the White Sox, one of the things they've had to deal with, Gavin Sheets, who's at first base tonight, and also their hitting star from last night who won the game, Andrew Vaughn, are 2 guys that are really good first basemen and are just having to play the outfield in 2022 because Abreu plays almost every game. So now kind of opens up that position for the White Sox as Kyle Tucker is down to the count 0-2.
The White Sox were forced into playing Eloy Jimenez in left field and then having either Gavin Sheets or Andrew Vaughn in right field, and that's an uncomfortable corner outfield for the Chicago White Sox.
That one could have been strike 3. Tucker gets the benefit of the no call by Rob Drake, the home plate umpire. It's 1-2.
A little bit different zone tonight. That one came across, looked like a cut and got the outside corner, but Tucker's still in there.
Tuck took some close pitches last night against the lefty Aaron Bummerin, drawing a walk to load the bases in that 7th inning when the Astros got on the board first on that wild pitch. It's now 2-2. We mentioned Lynn's control. Lynn went the last 15 starts last year, allowing 1 or no walks in all 15 of those starts. He's already walked Abreu here to start the inning. And he gets Tucker fishing there for the first out. That's also the first strikeout for Lance Lynn.
They got it with that curveball. Threw that curveball only 9% of the time last season. See a little bit untraditional coming across it with that grip on the side to create that spin, but still the bottom falling out of it.
Quite a moment now, the Major League debut for Corey Julks, local product from Clearbrook High School and University of Houston Cougar. The first UH Cougar ever, excuse me, the 36th UH Cougar ever to be in the big leagues, and the first from Clearbrook High School. Now one back, it's 0-2. Julia?
Yeah, Corey was called into Dana Brown's office. There were some other front office executives in there. He had zero clue what it would be about not getting designated. He wasn't on the 40-man roster. But what it was being told he made the team. A dream come true for Corey.
Yes. Line drive, base hit in his first Major League at bat. Congratulations to UH's Corey Julks. 0-2 pitch against Lance Lynn, and there you see the crowd, the Julks family celebrating.
Nice clean rip into left field, calm, under control, got a breaking ball and smashed it into left for #1 of his career. Welcome to the club, Corey Julks.
In back-to-back games, we have seen two Major League debuts, Oscar Colas for the White Sox last night, and tonight Corey Julks, where both guys had a hit in their very first at bat.
Like they're meant to be here.
Like, no problem, I got this. Corey had a big spring training. No Astro had more runs batted in than Corey Julks, who led the Astros with a dozen. Helped him make the team as a non-roster invitee. Now David Hensley getting his first at bats of the season. Hensley takes a called strike. It's 1-1. What a moment for Corey Julks, the local guy playing in his hometown in his first Major League game, and he rips a single to left. That was not a cheapie.
He's playing for the Cougars, just down 45.
Outside, 2-1.
Now next time he digs in, guess what, TK? It's going to be hitting 1,000.
I love it.
That's awesome. Take a picture.
Julia, what else was there about Corey? He kind of interrupted you with his first big league hit.
I am completely okay with that. He was just quickly talking about how, he worked really hard for this, but he also needed some team and some universities like U of H to take a chance on him. So he was just super grateful for everyone who's done that so far, including the Houston Astros, who are giving him this experience. And yesterday, incredible for him to witness and see. Today, I bet it's even better.
Taking it all in at first base. That is off the plate, and something that did not happen in the last 15 starts of Lance Lynn's 2022 season. Is he has walked 2 in a start. He's done it in the same inning. He thought that was a close pitch.
You can be all over the zone if you want, but if you're not getting that pitch up out over the plate, the Astros are going to take it, and David Hensley is a good example of that. He can go out there, get base hits, has a little bit of power in that swing, but at the same time, a part of his repertoire is being able to take some pitches and work counts. He's not afraid to take the walk, and guess what? We got the bases juiced, and we got our first mound visit.
David Hensley drew 80 walks last year for AAA Sugar Land in 104 games. And he is one of the best eyes on this team, and one of the reasons why he made the Major League roster on opening day. Now a word from Reliant.
Reliant, official energy provider of the Houston Astros.
Mound visit with Ethan Katz, the pitching coach, out there. Lance Lynn having a word or two for Rob Drake. Lance didn't love a couple of those pitches, maybe the one to Tucker, and maybe 1 or 2 in that David Hensley series, but that last pitch that he threw to Hensley was definitely off the plate.
It was down off that outside corner, and it sets up a great opportunity for Jake Myers.
Myers had some opportunities in last night's game. He batted 7th last night. Now tonight, batting in that 8th spot. Jake hit the ball hard his second time last night, but went 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. Bats here with the bases juiced and 1 out. Takes a pitch down with a fastball, 1-0.
If you're Jake Myers right now, you're just hoping that you get a fastball up out of the plate. I would sit on that one pitch, have an idea of where I want to go for it. If that pitch is in that zone, let that barrel fly through the zone. Good time to be aggressive.
He was aggressive. Foul tip on the fastball. It's 1-1.
I like it. Let it rip. I think that's something that we kind of want to see from Jake Myers early on in this season, is have some of that tenacity, have some of that maybe borderline anger in the plate, show some emotion and let that barrel go.
Jake Myers 2 for 2 in his career against Lance Lynn. That time he tried to hold up on a pitch off the plate and couldn't hold up. It's 1-2. Myers getting a start in center field back-to-back. Dusty has told Chaz McCormick he'll get the start tomorrow and more than likely Sunday as well. 1-2 pitch is up, 2-2. Well, Lance Lynn, we mentioned the last 15 starts, 0 or 1 walk last year. All 21 starts, he never walked more than 2 in any start. He's already walked 2 this inning. Now he's 2-2 on Jake Myers. And he gets Myers swinging for the second out. Big strikeout for Lynn and 2 away in the inning.
Threw him the cut fastball up in the zone. That pitch went exactly where he wanted it to. It almost looked as if it was a little bit more of a cutter and a slider because even the velocity was down from 94 to 90. Kind of sweeps across the zone.
So now Martin Maldonado, who's had success against Lynn at the plate. Misses that first pitch as he misses the cutter, 0-1. Aldi 7 for 16, does have a career home run against Lynn. Aldi bats here with the bases loaded and now 2 outs. And he pops this one up. Playable for Gavin Sheets in foul territory, and that will end the Astros rally. Astros leave the bases loaded. They trail 1-0 after 2.
What? 11 1/3 strong, a .027 ERA against, and a 0 ERA. The reason that opponent average is so low because he helped contribute to that combined no-hitter in Game 4 of the World Series. Remarkable numbers again last season for Christian Javier.
Just 1 hit allowed in those 2 series combined. As you take a look at Elvis Andrus leading off here in the 3rd inning. Andrus has faced Christian Javier more than anybody else in this lineup. The White Sox don't have a whole lot of at-bats against Javier. But Andrus, who has long been in the American League West with the Astros, mostly with Texas in the last year and a half with the Oakland A's. 4 for 12 against Javier, and all 4 hits have been extra base hits. 3 doubles and a home run as he takes one upstairs for a ball, 2-1. Javier with 1 start against the Chicago White Sox. It happened last year on June 19th. Andrews trying to hold up, cannot. It's 2-2. Christian allowed just 1 hit in 5 innings against the White Sox in that start at Minute Maid Park. Also pitched against them in the ALDS a couple of years ago in 2021. Up and in. And it's now 3-2 on Andrews. So it'll be Andrews then back to the top of the order. Tim Anderson and Luis Robert Jr. In the air to right field, playable for Kyle Tucker. Gold Glover hardly has to move and puts it away for out number 1. So far in this game, we have seen Lance Lynn in the 1st inning have a sub-3-minute inning, a 2-minute and 55-second inning, and then Christian Javier in the top of the 2nd followed that up with a 2-minute and 18-second half inning. Last night's game took 2 hours and 38 minutes. And the average game time across Major League Baseball yesterday was 2 hours and 45 minutes, or 27 minutes less than opening day last year, as Tim Anderson continues to get on base at an incredible pace. He's on base for the 2nd time tonight and the 5th time already in the series.
Air Jordan slugged his way to a World Series title. Now you can get his ring. This Wednesday, all fans receive a Jordan Alvarez World Series replica ring presented by Gallery Furniture. Visit Astros.com/promotions to get your tickets.
Jordan patrolling left field again tonight. Got the start last night in left. Had not played back-to-back days in spring training, as he had that hand injury that kept him out until the final week of the spring. Luis Robert missing that fastball. Robert struck out on a slider his first time up, the only strikeout for Christian Javier. Anderson stole a base his first time he was on. And Robert misses another fastball, and Javier finds himself quickly ahead 0-2.
The 1st inning, we saw that slider work well against Luis Robert, but the hitters after Luis Robert, that slider did not look as good. Eloy Jimenez eventually drove in a run on it, but we haven't really seen Javier in the last 2 innings get aggressive with the fastball, and there he goes again. So he's trying to get back into the zone and get back into this ball game and cut down on the pitches out of the zone with that fastball.
We mentioned yesterday the most stolen bases in over 100 years for an opening day in the major leagues. Now, part of that equation is that they hadn't had everybody playing on opening day together, 15 teams or 15 games, 30 teams. That hadn't happened before, but still 21 steals and 23 attempts. Over 90% success rate yesterday across Major League Baseball. And Anderson, who stole 13 last year, already trying to steal his second of the game.
Kind of feels like he's going for just an outrageous number these days. Maybe a 50 or 60 stolen base year would be incredible.
We might see those numbers build up across baseball. That's right down the middle of the plate, maybe a little bit above the knees. Either way, Robert is called out on a strike. Beautiful pitch by Christian Javier.
Yeah, nice lock job right here by Christian Javier's fastball. Again, you anticipate that pitch down, moving down out of the zone. But again, that spin rate will just keep it on that same plane, maintain through the zone, and you're able to lock up hitters like Luis Robert.
Yeah, explain that a little bit, Blummer. We've talked about it through the years, but there are certain guys, and Christian Javier, a good example, who have better ride.
Yeah, there'll be guys, I mean, you know, it's just a natural trajectory of that ball coming out of the hand to be downhill going towards the hitter. And if you have enough spin, you can kind of alter or maybe delay that gravity taking a hold of that baseball going down towards the earth. And if you have enough spin like Javier does to flatten it out, it will just go ahead and maintain. Instead of being around the knees or around that belt, it'll actually just stay on the trajectory out of the hand and maintain through the zone. And that's what throws the hitters off, because you're used to trying to hitting on an uphill plane.
Little chopper towards Bregman on 2 hops. Alex will make the play to get Benintendi for the final out of the inning. Christian Javier allows a base hit. 1 man left on base. We head to the bottom of the 3rd. It's 1-0 White Sox. Last year, that has never happened for a position player in their entire career. That's right. It's never happened before where a player has won a Gold Glove, an ALCS MVP, or any CS MVP for that matter, and a World Series MVP. Not just in one season, in an entire career. Jeremy accomplished it all in his rookie year.
What's next?
I mean, I was stunned that that was a fact, that of all the position players that have ever played the game, that he has the combination that has never happened before.
Well,
not just in 1 year, in an entire career.
Well, how many rookies have had the opportunity to just get to a World Series, period, that are playing every day? You know, I mean, that's unique in itself. But to be able to dominate at a high-valued position like shortstop and kind of find your way towards the end of the season and then just absolutely just tear into the opponent for the entire postseason?
And it's not just a rookie record. Anybody that's played the game,
anybody,
has never won both of those MVPs and a Gold Glove in their career, which is astonishing. But it's happened one other time for our pitcher. We'll tell you about that a little bit later in the inning.
Does that count? I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
2-2 the count to Jeremy Pena, but it has never happened in a career for a position player. Lance Lynn with a 2-2 count here on Pena. Lynn was only 3 of 9 his first time around the lineup in first pitch strike, so a little bit unusual for Lynn to be struggling with his command here tonight. Lynn did walk 2 last inning, and he has thrown 38 pitches, exactly 19 for strikes and 19 out of the zone. And he hits Pena. Pena was checking his swing. The ball kept riding in on him, and he gets hit by that 2-2 pitch.
Shaking out that right arm. I wonder if that two-seamer was riding up and in, and he was able to get that front shoulder elbow out of the way, but now it gets that, wow, 2 for 1. Caught that left wrist and the right wrist. Seems to be all right, but
Lance Lynn was the starting pitcher in the game in the World Baseball Classic, in which Jose Altuve fractured his thumb. Lynn was not the pitcher who threw the pitch that hit Altuve. Daniel Bard, but there is the only other player in the history of the game that in their entire careers have had those 3 accomplishments. And it just so happens Hershiser did it in 1 season and Pena did it in 1 season.
Unreal.
Right?
Yeah.
The Bulldog ran through that 88 playoff run. He was basically unhittable as Alex Bregman takes a pitch off the plate for ball 1. Another first pitch out of the zone for Lance Lynn.
Yeah, the command is a little out of sorts this evening for Lance Lynn, who typically is around the zone and doesn't give up many walks, but he's not afraid to hit batters.
This one popped up on the 1-0 pitch. Alex is hoping it drifts to the crowd, but it's going to stay in play. Yohan Moncada makes the play for out number 1.
To that point, Lance Lynn hit 10 batters last season.
Not afraid to work inside, and sometimes those pitches get a little too far in, as they did on Jeremy Pena. Pena was on the move on that last pitch and had to go get his helmet retrieved there.
That was nice of Omar Lopez.
Here's Yordan. Alvarez flied out to left field his first time up. Double and a home run in his 6 for 13 career against Lance Lynn. He takes one in for a ball, 1-0. Yordan is sitting on 99 career home runs, Blummer.
A lot of us are. At least I am.
I love it.
I checked out after 99.
Yordan 1 away from that magical 100 mark. Swings and misses. Throw from the knees, and Pena safe. They are going to. Are they going to say that there was some interference? Rob Drake is calling time at home plate. He's just checking to see if the White Sox want to appeal here.
That's part of the new replay reviews that they have. The manager can put up that hand signaling we're taking a look, and eventually now he's mentioning that they do want to check the headsets.
Pena does not look 100% comfortable over there at second base either.
Yeah, diving in head first. Hit on both of those wrists as he goes in. I wasn't even looking at the tag. I was watching his hands go into the bag, but I'm sure it's the impact after being hit.
He is being checked out again by Jeremiah Randall. This is the last thing Astros fans want to see. With Jose Altuve already on the shelf for a couple of months. Their other star in the middle of the diamond was grimacing in a little pain after this steal. Where does he get him? That's the key.
I was going to say, can you figure out where that is? Because it kind of came together. Doesn't look like he gets him until that knee, and I think the hand is on the bag.
To your point, though, it's a good topic. You have to immediately signal that you want to look at it.
Yeah.
As soon as the play happens. And then you've got 15 seconds to determine whether you're challenging or not. There's a lot of pressure on those replay guys.
Yeah, that replay booth may get a little itchy.
They're going to say Pena's out here. So they saw enough clear and convincing evidence that that tag was made by Tim Anderson.
Might have been just above that knee before the hand got in.
So it turns out to be a good challenge for the White Sox. But yes, your challenge gurus underneath in the clubhouse or in the bowels of the stadium where they're set up, they have to determine things within 15 seconds whether or not you're going to challenge. So you immediately have to put your hand up that you want to challenge, whereas the past you can wait a little while, and then if they saw something, hey, we want to challenge that. But now an immediate decision needs to be made. So maybe some of those close plays where the guy has stolen a base and maybe pops up for a sliver of a second, they may not even think to look at those if they don't immediately put up the palm and say they need 15 seconds to think about. So Pena thrown out, and Alvarez now with a 2-2 count. Jeremy now 1 for 2 on the season in stolen bases. Last year, Pena only attempted 13 steals the entire year. That ball rocketed, but hooking.
Wow, play.
Grab the chair and make the play. That is well done.
Gosh, Rob Manfred's going to love that play. Early lead in the Gold Glove.
That is well orchestrated.
Down the right field line, yeah.
And Yordan doesn't exactly hit soft liners. Now the count's full. Lance Lynn a pitch away from walking his third of the game. That had not happened at all last year in any of his 21 starts. And there it is. Walk number 3.
Amazing. Here's a look at our front door expert approach. Jose Abreu. Talk about his career a little bit. He's got an MVP award under his belt. 2020 was the year that he did that. 3-time Silver Slugger, Rookie of the Year, 3-time All-Star, and amazing numbers. 292 career hitter, 243 home runs in that White Sox uniform. He is looking forward to adding on to those numbers as an Astro.
Pops this one into shallow right. Long run for Colas. He'll have time to get there, and he puts it away for the final out. Astros with a hit batter and a walk. 1 man left on base through 3. Still 1-0 Chicago.
First one, which historical postseason run is the current Astros golden age most comparable to? Is it the Reds from in the 70s, 70 to 76, where they won a couple? Braves going 11 straight times of the postseason, winning 1. The Yankees in that era winning 4. Giants winning in 2010, 2012, or 2014. Let us know. Follow at ATT Sportsnet SWTK.
All right, Julia. 0-1 pitch to Eloy Jimenez is fouled straight back. It's 0-2. Christian Javier so far has allowed 3 hits tonight and a run. He's allowed a hit in every inning. Jimenez drove in the only run of this game with a double into left center field on a 1-2 slider his first time up. This time he gets a better breaking ball. That's the curveball for the strikeout. And Christian Javier has 3 strikeouts in the game.
Almost seemed as if Christian Javier wanted to go out there and throw some better spin to Eloy Jimenez, who got him on that hanging slider earlier. Did a great job of snapping that one off and had Eloy Jimenez well out in front of that pitch. Beautifully done.
Astros threw a lot of sliders to Yoan Moncada in last night's game. And they start him out with a breaking ball here. He hits the slider into right field. And Moncada has himself a 1-out hit. Christian Javier rarely allows a hit an inning, but that's the case so far in his first start tonight. A hit every inning so far in the first 4. Now Gavin Sheets will bat. Sheets and Moncada, the only 2 White Sox in the lineup tonight that played over 100 games last year for Chicago. That's kind of a statement on how injured they were. Moncada was just over 100 games at 104 with 3 stays on the IL, and Gavin Sheets at the plate played 124 games. Sheets last year hit 15 home runs, but almost all the damage came at U.S. Cellular Field in Chicago, where he hit 14 of his 15 home runs. And after playing just 9 games of first base last year, Sheets and Andrew Vaughn expect to share first base duties with Jose Abreu now in an Astros uniform. 0-1 the count to the left-hand hitter. He's down 1-1. Christian Javier, pretty quick worker, has rarely had that pitch clock go down close to 0. There's that swing and a miss, the high fastball. Blummer was telling you about that last inning, how that ball has ride, and hitters see it in one plane and expect it to be a place that it ends up a lot higher. You see so many swings and misses under that fastball.
It must look amazing out of the hand, because we do see that a lot, where guys will even chase up out of the zone. Again, that time Sheets lucky enough to get up there and fight that thing off and live another pitch. But at the same time, it will look as if it's going to be at the top of the zone, and it'll just stay above the zone, and you'll get that swing from underneath. It's tough to get the hands above that pitch.
That's why he gets so many fly ball outs too, because guys are underneath the ball and hit a lot of pop-ups and flyouts. Like that. That's kind of a pop-up or a flyout. You call it. Actually, Jordan will call it. Jeremy says, I like when you call well in advance after that scary moment they had at Citi Field last year. Now a word from Topo Chico.
Crisp taste, legendary refreshment. Topo Chico Hard Seltzer, a real winning lineup.
And Yasmani Grandal will be the batter. Grandal singled his first time up. Javier's allowed 4 hits, 3 singles, and a double. He's also walked a hitter. Starts him off with a breaking ball for a strike, 0-1.
So fans watching at home, if you want to take a peek at that pitch clock that we continue to talk about, it will be on that bug in the lower right-hand corner, right around that AT&T symbol.
Pop foul. Martin Maldonado gives it a look, but runs out of room. So the clock starts when the pitcher retrieves the baseball and is on the mound, and when everybody is back in their positions. So it should start right around now, and it does. It's 20 now. And the bug will pop up if they get to the 10-second mark. But Christian Javier hasn't been at that 10-second mark at all. So that's why you haven't seen it the last few pitches. He does check the runner at first. That's one disengagement. Okada last year only stole 2 bases in 2 attempts. Close pitch, gets the call.
Beautiful.
Called, 3rd strike. Grandal doesn't like it as he goes down looking to end the 4th inning. 1 hit, 1 man left on base. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Still 1-0 Sox.
Specifically making his major league debut, and his entire family excited. His dad Darren here to see it, and of course we saw him get his first major league hit as well. Darren, with me now. You got to take me through some emotions. First, just him getting his first start, seeing him on that big league field. You guys from right here in Houston, Houstonians through and through. What was that like for you?
Very exciting. You know, this is what he's been working for. This dream come true, playing baseball from Little League, high school to college. He put a lot of work in and it's paid off.
Not just putting the uniform on, but he got out there and got that first knock. What'd you do? How'd you react?
Trying to be calm, but of course I can't be. You know, that was his first hit. You can't draw up a script any better than that. You know, first hit bad, first hit. I was very happy.
I mean, obviously you know him better than anyone. His journey to get here, it's a story we all really enjoy telling, but what was it like from your side to watch him just work through the minors and keep working in order to get here?
Well, I always tried to be on the positive. You know, when things didn't go right, I'll call him. He said, "Man, you all right?" "I'm good, Dad." So when he said he was good, I was good. So, but it was a journey. You know, the time he had to go back to West Palm Beach, that was hard. It was harder on me than it was him. He said, "I'm gonna just go back there, Dad, do what they tell me to do, work hard, and come back strong," and he did it.
That moment when you first saw him, too, that conversation and just that first embrace, was that pretty emotional for you?
Very, very emotional. Still is right now. But, you know, I'm very excited and very happy for him.
Well, enjoy the rest of it. I know he's coming up here in a second, but congratulations to you and the entire family.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, take care.
All right, Julia, what his dad was referring to going back to West Palm Beach as Kyle Tucker bats with a 2-2 count back in the 2021 season at Corpus Christi as Tucker fouls one away. Jolks was playing okay, nothing great, nothing terrible, but they said, "We want you to work on your swing. We want you to get more power going." And they sent him to West Palm Beach in the middle of the season. Ooh. And it was not to play in games. It was to strictly work on his swing, get on his legs more, figure out how to hit the ball harder, more out in the air, more up in the air as Tucker flies out to right field for his first out. So he turned that into a good second half of the season with Corpus Christi. And then last year, after having a career high of 14 home runs in the minor leagues, he would hit 31 for Sugarland. So getting on the legs, and that session he had in West Palm Beach, while his dad said it was a tough time, Corey kept a positive attitude throughout.
It's a credit to good parenting. So I'll give his father credit for that. Continuing to encourage Corey and taught him about work ethic, because that's the only way you come back from something like that, is actually taking some of that information to heart, making the adjustment. And you can really see with that leg kick and that build, he's compact. But he can get that barrel through the zone. 31 homers, I don't care what league you're at, that's a big number.
Had never hit more than 14 before. Also combined that with 22 steals. Only one of 2 minor leaguers with 30-plus home runs and 20-plus steals. Not just 2 Astros minor leaguers, 2 minor leaguers in all of baseball. And tonight, in his first major league at bat, he singled in left field. The Clearbrook Wolverine and UH Cougar takes a called strike. It's 2-2. always have Lance Lynn in his memory bank as his first major league starting pitcher he saw and his first big league hit. Lynn comes back and wins this battle as he strikes him out. Lynn picks up the strikeout, his third of the game. So, Blummer, there are some surprises at the end of spring training with these guys all making the opening day roster.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting. We knew Yainer Diaz was in the mix, so he might be the one that we all might have assumed or had the potential to be on this roster. Corey Lee is one of those guys. We kept hearing the name Justin Dearden, but it was Corey Julks and Cesar Salazar who crept onto that roster. They had to clear the way for them to get on that 40-man and to enable them to be on that 26-man roster. But it's also a credit to this organization for having plenty of guys competing for spots. It just ultimately came down to decisions within to bring Corey Julks and Cesar Salazar up here.
Salazar will be the third catcher for the Astros. He's hoping for an opportunity sometime in this series. Dusty has not made any commitment as to when he might get some action in an Astros uniform. He has said Chaz will get the start tomorrow, so everybody other than Chaz McCormick and Cesar Salazar are playing here in the first two games. David Hensley gets his first start tonight. Walked his first time up. He's now got a 2-2 count as he missed that cutter. Hensley just turned 27 years old on Tuesday, a couple of days before opening day. 2 days prior to that, Christian Javier turned 26 years old. And then last night, Alex Bregman turned 29. So 3 birthdays for the Astros in the final week of March. 3-2 the count. Lynn's already walked 3 uncharacteristically. And Hensley spoils that 3-2 pitch.
Yeah, he's thrown 68 pitches, and it's kind of interesting to look up there and see 36 of those being strikes. So a lot of pitches out of the zone for Lance Lynn, something he's not accustomed to.
Lynn pitched twice for Team USA this spring in the World Baseball Classic. As he gets Hensley there, back-to-back strikeouts to end the inning. 4 in the game. Lance Lynn has a 1-2-3 inning for the second time tonight. Caps, t-shirts, collectibles, and more. Gear up with your Houston Astros at MLBshop.com. They're looking at video from the newest team store out there in center field. They did great business yesterday, I'm told, on opening day. And that is a large team store out there that is new in 2023.
That's a credit to the fans and the team. You go out and win, fans want more merch, and they had to expand. Also, if you like gold, get you some.
I can't say that we ended up leaving the stadium yesterday without some more gold merchandise.
Oh my gosh.
Michelle Callis now is the owner of a gold World Series jacket.
Oh, nice. She did.
She went for it.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Be wearing that with pride.
Especially when it's a 95 out.
Perfect. It's perfect for shopping indoors here in Houston.
It was actually, it's a really nice jacket. Really nice.
Yep.
She came back and I was like, there you go. It takes a little while to get back and forth to the team store. This ball sliced foul. So if anything, if you're thinking about getting concessions, if you're, if you have to use the restroom, if you have to go to the team store, think about the fact that whatever you can get done before the game is going to help.
It's a really good idea.
Because the games fly now. The games absolutely fly. It's a whole different experience. This one's popped up. Alex Bregman in foul territory. Now drifting towards the line. Puts it away. Oscar Colas retired. We're out number 1. This game started at 7:11 Central Time, and the middle of the 5th is usually when we say we're halfway home. So we're just an hour and 6 minutes into this game.
It annoys me. I mean, that's one of the traditions in baseball, is not to mention the speed of the game if it's moving fast.
Right.
Sparky would come running in here. Steve Sparks, our radio color analyst, would come running in and go, guys, it's the 5th inning, and we'd be an hour and a half into the game, and we'd proceed to play a 4-hour game, and I'd have to go over there in the 9th inning and punch him right in the neck for doing that, and it doesn't seem to deter him. Now he can do it anytime he wants.
Yeah,
I won't be upset.
He's lost that weapon.
Yeah, exactly. He's got nothing left.
He's got
other than old man jokes.
we'll have to wait for National Joke Day for some of those again. But we mentioned this in spring training as Elvis Andrus Pat's here. We saw a lot of Elvis Andrus with the A's over the last few years, and a lot of times when we were in Oakland, it would lead us into our Astros After Dark.
Yeah,
but
good point.
That might be a thing of the past, or if it happens, it might be a rarity. Games that go till midnight Central.
May have to change the night to dusk or early evening.
1-2 count, little chopper, going to be tough. Pena charging, and even if he gloves that, I'm not sure if he's able to make the play on Elvis Andrus. That was hit slowly enough, and once it got past Javier in the mound, no chance. So the first time Andrus has had a base hit against Javier that's not an extra base hit.
Yeah, watch this next hop. It just didn't come up high enough. It stayed down. It really seemed like the grass absorbed that energy on that hop that he was trying to go get. Because if that hop's a little bit higher, it's easier for him to grab and come up throwing. But if he had to really reach down like he did, it was going to make that play that much tougher.
So the White Sox, who had 11 hits in last night's game, have a hit in every inning against Christian Javier through 5. We may not say that very often all year long, that a team has had at least one hit in every inning through 5 against Javier. This guy, the toughest to hit in all of baseball over the last 3 years. Now 178 batting average against, being tested tonight. He's fallen behind Tim Anderson 2-0. Anderson has walked, stolen a base, scored a run. He's also singled into right. Anderson now 3 for 6 on the season with a couple of walks. This is a tough at bat at the top of their lineup as he fouls one away, 2-1.
Yeah, Tim Anderson's a very good hitter. I think getting him back for a full season, keeping him healthy and on that field as often as possible is going to be paramount for the White Sox if they're going to contend in the American League Central. And even with Carlos Correa in Minnesota in that Central Division, you've got to imagine Tim Anderson's going to be a little ramped up.
They almost had Andrus leaning. His lead wasn't that big, but he was going in the wrong direction when Javier started that pickoff attempt.
Dusty got that hand up, but he's going to say keep playing. That was not the normal footwork of a veteran like Elvis Andrus, and there you see him leaning towards second base, and then panic set in.
Well, again, that extra few inches on the back of the bag can help a runner get back there, avoiding the tag. Swing and a miss. Nice pitch by Javier, 2-2. Little foul tip there off the bat of Anderson.
Good fastball in that outside corner. Tim Anderson has good power going the other way. And some late life, sitting at 94 on that fastball for Christian Javier.
Laid off that pitch, and now the count's full. Andrus has looked like he's wanted to run the last couple of pitches. He did steal 18 bags last year. We'll see if he's off here with a 3-2 pitch. So Javier has had one disengagement in this plate appearance. He can only throw over one more time.
But he can hold for about 10 seconds right here if he wanted to.
There goes Andrus. The pitch is a swing and a miss. Maldonado from his knees. Not quite in time. Tried to throw him out from his knees and threw it just to the third base side of the bag. That's a stolen base for Andrus.
Good pitch by Christian Javier to get the first part of this potential strike him out, throw him out. Elvis Andrus off and running, and Martin Maldonado going with the throw from the knees. Andrus going to the outside part of the bag. I would like, for me personally, just to see that tag go to the bag first and not to the runner. Give your catcher a little bit more of an opportunity to get that foot before you get up on that thigh or hip.
Aldi already cutting down a runner last night. Swing and a miss. Robert has just not looked comfortable tonight against Christian Javier.
No, he's uncomfortable at the top of the zone. The spin is looking a little bit better in the last couple of innings. But yeah, Luis Robert not picking the ball up out of the hand.
He's already struck out twice against Javi, down in the count 0-2. And he puts that one into the second deck of the stands as he fouls one away.
But he also made him expand too. That pitch was about 2 or 3 inches off the outside corner, and Luis Robert went after it. So that kind of tells you there might be a little bit of panic in the mind of Luis Robert. and he's gotten it with both the slider and the fastball. Slider first at bat, fastball the second at bat.
Robert very aggressive, swings and misses, and he goes down for a third time. Javier has the hat trick against Robert Jr., 3 of his 6 strikeouts on the night.
Collection features unique rings, charms, and bracelets for men and women. To see the entire collection, visit jostens.com/Astros. TK.
All right, Julia, Jake Myers will lead things off here in the bottom half of the 5th inning, and we have a very special guest with us in the booth. She is the Senior Vice President of Communications and Marketing for the Houston Astros, Anita Sagel. How are you today? Great day to be here, right? Handing out rings and...
It's a special day today. When you get to hand out jewelry to people, I mean, what could be better than that?
What is this in front of you?
Well, part of handing out jewelry is to give our really special broadcasters who spend the entire season making fans happy and telling the story of this team, their 2022 World Champion
Are you serious?
Houston Astros ring.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
And I feel very privileged that I get to give them to you.
Thank you
very
so much, Anita. This is awesome. This is so cool. Jake has a 2-1 count here leading off the inning and fouls one back. We have been so blessed over the years. In 6 seasons.
4th ring.
4th ring.
Well, I think we need a 5th because, you know, we do have 5 fingers on a hand.
I like that.
And we have 2 pennants and 2 championships. And if you look at those banners up there, I mean, there'd be some good balance if you added a 3rd gold one up there.
Oh, I see what you're saying. The championship banners have 3.
Right.
I got you.
Feels like we should do another.
So here we go.
If you get me to stop talking, that means you did a good job. Yeah, these are amazing.
Look at this.
So one of the things
I was going to say, yeah, you got to explain everything to us because these are beautiful.
Well, you know, it's part of a family. As you can tell, our iconic Star H is on the top. But I will tell you, it's about almost 50% heavier in carats.
Wow.
Than our 2017 ring.
4 walks from Lance Lynn. He is a little bit upset with himself as he walks Jake Myers to lead things off. This is amazing. This is a beautiful, beautiful piece of jewelry.
Yeah, I think it's it's pretty special. And what makes it special is those guys on the field earned it.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, they've always had that target on their back because they are very, very good at what they do. But to watch them go out with the mentality of we're going to continue to do it makes it that much more amazing. And I'm sure these guys wear this with pride. But it's just we're very lucky to be a part of this and be around during this time because this is incredible.
So I know that, you know, we're so lucky to get these, but there's a way that fans can get involved as well, right?
Yeah. So we have 2 jewelry stores that we're going to run. We've got 1 jewelry store that will be in Union Station through June. And then we've got a jewelry store that opened up tonight right by our brand new retail store in center field. And that will be available to fans all season long. We've got an extraordinary jewelry collection for fans. And something for everyone. There's some really fun items. There's some beautiful, elegant pieces of jewelry. There's something for kids. We did a kids jewelry collection. There's some great pieces for both men and women. Everything from cufflinks to earrings to necklaces. Just a lot of really fun things. And of course the paperweights, and I mean, Jostens has been our partner. This is the 4th ring they've done with us, but they've really done a great job on working with our team and designing a really fun jewelry collection too.
We are spoiled because this team is so good, so why not spoil your family with all of the jewelry that can go along with it to commemorate what these guys are doing. It's been unreal, this run they've been on.
Yeah.
So have you perfected the World Series ring designs yet, or are you still looking to make some adjustments?
You know what? Let me tell you, the greatest thing about going through a design process for a championship ring is figuring out the story that you want to tell. And the hardest part about it is there were so many magical moments in 2022 that we really had to be mindful about what part of the story was going to make the ring.
And you know what else is tough? Getting all the information in with the new pitch clock because we're out of time.
Unbelievable.
We're out of time. We've got rings. We'll tell you more about it here on the bottom half or the top half of the inning. He was charged with a run. Tonight, So far, Christian Javier's allowed 1 run, and that's it. It's 1-0 Sox as we enter the 6th inning. We're joined by the Senior Vice President of Communications and Marketing, Anita Sagel, with the Houston Astros, who was kind enough to bring us this incredible gift into the booth. We've got our World Series rings, number 4 in the last 6 years. Incredible. So we talked about, the jewelry stores that are open, but what about fans that want to come in and get those replica rings? We're going to be able to do that soon, right?
Yeah, you know what's great? We actually end Champions Weekend on Sunday with our first fan ring giveaway. All fans will receive our first replica ring, and then we have another one on Wednesday to wrap up the homestand. We're going to do 12 in total over the course of the season. We have a lot of rings we're going to give our fans. We're very excited about them, and they look amazing. These promo rings look fantastic. And so buy a ticket, come to the game. We've got all fan ring giveaways for every single one of our ring nights.
Yordan Alvarez trying to track this down as he plays it on a hop. He'll try and throw Benintendi out at second. Hensley can't quite make the tag. He got that ball just in front of the bag and couldn't get back to make the tag on Benintendi, who has an opening double here on a looper to left.
Ball kind of twisted away from Yordan Alvarez as he went to that left field side. We know that he's got a very good arm. That ball was there in plenty of time, just a little bit offline, and Hensley not able to get back and get Benintendi because Benintendi wasn't running immediately out of the box. It's a pretty good angle to see how those base runners go to the outside, well away from the infielder.
A hit in every inning for the White Sox so far. They now have 6 hits. Here's Eloy Jimenez, and he sends one into right center field. Tucker on the move, and he won't quite get there. It'll bounce off the wall. Tucker will play it, but Benintendi's going to score on the RBI double by Jimenez. He has 2 runs batted in, both on doubles. It's 2-0 Sox.
It's not too often we see this many hits against Christian Javier in a game, and then back-to-back doubles even that much more rare. But Jimenez did a good job of staying on that fastball away. Mattress Room Supermo is going to show you that 4-seamer.
Josh Miller is going to have a meeting with Christian Javier, which gives us a chance to talk a little bit about those ring giveaways. Each one's attached to a different player, right, throughout the year?
Yeah, really an opportunity for fans to build a collection. We did that last year with our pennant ring. Of course, the very first ring on Sunday is our postseason MVP, our World Series MVP with Pena. But we've got a collection of 12 fantastic ring giveaways. Different player. All of them are going to be fantastic.
I can't believe, number one, it's just such a great atmosphere here, and I can't believe how many people are rolling through those merchandise, the team stores, and getting their new gear. It's amazing.
Well, that gold collection is pretty special, and the World Champions collection in general is pretty special. One of the fun things we were able to do was lean in on things that happened. Our We Want Houston collection has been doing really good.
I bet it has.
So cool.
This city loves that.
Yohan Moncada bat sends this one into right center field. Pretty well hit, but the ball's up in the air. Can Myers get there? No, it one hops over the wall. And that's going to be an automatic double and another run scored for the White Sox. It is now 3-0. So 3 consecutive doubles in this inning. Christian Javier has allowed 8 hits in this game. That is going to be it for Javier as Moncada drives in his first run of the season. So Javier goes 5 innings plus 3 batters. The White Sox lead 3-0. We'll have a pitching change when we come back.
And this Crawford Bach call to the bullpen is going to show you Phil Maton. This will be his 4th opening day roster. Last season, pitching in 67 games in that excellent bullpen for Dusty Baker. Had a 3.84 ERA. Unfortunately, was not able to be in that postseason. But here making his first appearance of 2023.
Facing Gavin Sheets, first batter he faces takes a pitch off the plate for ball 1. 3 consecutive doubles knock Christian Javier out of the game. He goes 5 innings plus 3 batters. Maton takes over here in the 6th inning. And the one thing the Astros have without the lefty in the bullpen is they have a lot of righties that have had success against lefties through the years. And that's why Maton comes on here to face Gavin Sheets. Anita Sagel still with us in the booth. Anita, we were talking about these beautiful rings that we were able to get as employees of the team, but for people who are not in team employees and did not have a chance to be gifted this incredible merchandise. How can they get something similar to these?
You know, what we do is we have a limited edition ring. We only produced 200 of those limited edition rings. That's really the closest thing that fans can get to a real ring.
200 limited edition. 200
limited edition rings. They're numbered. If you go to any one of our Astros stores, they can help you with that. Or just go on to jostens.com/Astros and you'll get a real good visual of what that limited edition ring looks like. And it's really the closest thing we have.
Astros.com/Jostens to get the closest thing to being an actual team employee, which is pretty darn good.
I would say getting close to this is going to be impressive.
So the count's 2-2 on Gavin Sheets. Astros wearing their gold jerseys for the second straight day. That is also the special privilege of the team that wins the World Series the year before. And it's just, like you said, people are loving their gold.
Yeah, it really is one of the most incredible parts of winning a championship is you get to customize and wear a gold jersey. For us, we get to wear it for the first 2 games and really lean in and thank our fans and celebrate what was a really special year for us.
Well, I appreciate you saving a little bit for us. I know that opening day was yesterday, but our opening day, and you saved ring ceremony for us, so we greatly appreciate that. But all the ceremonies and all the fanfare has been incredible. How much fun has it been to work with your crew and the team to set all this up?
Well, what I can tell you is this was an all hands on deck. The 2 ceremonies you saw yesterday and today, so many people involved throughout the entire organization to make that happen. Jim Crane, our owner, says this all the time, the fans pay the bills. So anytime we get a chance to really do something to celebrate them and create a party atmosphere for them, we love doing that.
Just foul off the bat of Yasmani Grandal. Yohan Moncada on second base with 1 out. Crowds for this series incredible. It looks like there's not a seat to be had for any of these games.
Yeah, we'll be over 40,000 fans every single day of Champions Weekend for the entire White Sox series, with Sunday actually being one of our largest crowds probably of the entire weekend. People are excited about the replica ring.
Ground out to short as Pena makes the play. Had to call off David Hensley as they converge in the middle of the diamond. So Moncada moves over to third, and so far Phil Maton has done his job coming out of the bullpen.
Yeah, he's done a good job, but I think it's fascinating to give the fans credit. This is a Final Four weekend just down the road at NRG, yet Astro fans, I think we could safely say this is a baseball city, the way that the fans have reacted to this ball club and this generation.
You know, you guys, the media, really deem this the golden era of Astros baseball. But it's because of the fans. The fans have really turned out for this team.
Did that hit Colas?
Yeah, that got him right in the elbow on that pad. Didn't seem too happy about it. It's about a 91-mile-an-hour fastball. Coming up and in. You see right on that elbow pad. Kind of makes you wonder how much padding is actually involved with these elbows, because guys have gotten hit there and they just go down grimacing in pain. I know that squared him up.
I mean, that ball ended up going right back towards the pitcher.
Right back at him.
So Colas playing in his second major league game, the 24-year-old outfielder from Cuba being checked out there. Have we missed anything? Because we're 2 outs here in the inning. Have we missed anything tonight, or did we get everybody the information they needed?
I think we did.
Okay.
I think we did. You know
So
what?
exciting.
Just come to the ballpark. There is something at the ballpark all season long. We just want to come celebrate you.
Yeah, it's been what a magical run, the golden era of Astros baseball. It continues after 6 years, unprecedented 6 straight ALCSs, going for a 4th World Series in the last 5 years. I mean, just when you think it can't get better, it keeps getting better.
Yeah, it's time to do it again.
It's time to. We're ready to rain.
Yes,
ready
we
to
are.
rain.
Elvis Andrews taking a strike. Well, Anita, thank you so much, number one, for this incredible delivery.
The continued generosity being a part of this. Thank you. Yes.
You guys are absolutely a part of this Astros family. You are so special to what we deliver to our fans, and I'm just thrilled that we get to celebrate this with you guys as well.
We're thrilled. We have our new rings. We've got 4 in the last 6 years.
I mean,
unbelievable.
honestly.
And like Anita said, there are 5 fingers, so why not go for another one this year?
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Sounds good to me,
Thank
too.
you so much, Anita.
Yeah. Thanks
so
for
great to
having
have
me,
you.
guys.
Yes.
Thanks, Anita.
This ball into right field. Will Tucker have room? He does. He puts it away. No further damage after the 2 runs allowed by Christian Javier in the inning. But the White Sox lead. We're through 5.5. It is 3-0 Chicago. White Sox coverage starts at 12:30 with our pregame show only on AT&T Sportsnet. Alex Bregman and the Astros now down 3-0 as Bregman leads off here against Lance Lynn, who delivers a strike that Alex fouls away. It'll be Bregman, Yordan Alvarez, and Jose Abreu. The Astros offense so far has scored just 2 runs against Dylan Cease and their bullpen last night, and then Lance Lynn for 5 innings tonight. This one off the end of the bat, falling quickly, but it's going to hold up for Andrew Benintendi, the Gold Glover from 2021 with the Royals, puts it away for out number 1.
Our league leaders are presented to you by Houston Methodist. Talking about Yordan Alvarez and him being a league leader. How about some of the predominant categories to try and encapsulate what a player is able to do offensively? And with the power prowess, the batting average, and the on-base percentage, you combine all those and you can come up with 3 categories like WRC+, OPS+, and WOBA that will explain how good Yordan Alvarez is. Some of those categories weighted towards what he's able to do offensively with the power. And then you add in the on-base percentage, the ability to drive in runs, and you get a guy who's second in the league in most categories.
And this guy finished 3rd in MVP last year behind 2 historic seasons. Shohei Ohtani might have had one of, if not the best season ever for somebody who did not win MVP. And Aaron Judge obviously set a record for home runs in the American League. And then Yordan Alvarez had numbers good enough on a different season without those 2 historic years by Ohtani and Judge to win an MVP. So it's certainly a possibility that before things are done, we might see Yordan earning a most valuable player honor, although there he goes down on strikes. So that's now half a dozen strikeouts for Lance Lynn as he strikes out Alvarez for the 2nd out.
Yeah, the swing and miss has been a little bit of an issue. We knew that was going to be an issue yesterday with Dylan Cease, as sharp as he was. But there has been a couple of times we've seen the Astros uncharacteristically kind of reach out of the zone.
There's a called strike. Jose Abreu bats against Lance Lynn. Abreu does have some career numbers against Lynn. 4 for 21, even though they were teammates most recently. But Lynn, longtime member of the St. Louis Cardinals, also pitched for Texas for a couple of years before he went to Chicago. Minnesota and the Yankees one season as well in 2018. Lynn, who started the inning with 81 pitches on his ledger, is probably throwing in his last inning tonight. Currently at 90 pitches, and he's ahead of the count 1-2 on Abreu. Astros have just 1 hit tonight. It was a single by the rookie Corey Julks, making his major league debut in the DH role. UH Cougar had a single in the first at bat of his big league career in the 2nd inning, and that's it. This ball in the center field, and it's going to fall for hit number 2. Jose Abreu on base for the 2nd time. Drew a walk against Lance Lynn his first time up, and now adds a base hit.
Very good hitter. Down in the count, just takes a pitch, punches it back up the middle, trying to get things going for the Houston Astros. Lance Lynn, even with him being as wild as he is in this game, the Astros unable to square him up and take advantage of some of the walks that they've had. He might be able to get some 2-out lightning right here if Lance Lynn decides to come after Kyle Tucker with something he can handle.
This will be the best start for Lynn against the Astros since the middle of 2019. Lynn, in his 5 consecutive losses against Houston, has allowed at least 4 or more earned runs in all 5 of those starts dating back to July 21st, 2019. But tonight, there's no chance he gives up more than 4 because he's near the end of his pitch count. And he so far has allowed just 2 hits and no runs. The bullpen action is Jimmy Lambert warming up for the White Sox. Abreu on first, a 1-1 count on Kyle Tucker. Tucker takes one just on the outside edge, says Rob Drake. It's 1-2. Tucker sends one high and deep to center field, all the way back and gone. King Tuck makes it a 1-run game with his first of the season.
All hail! Diamonds and gold aplenty, and that is one of the purest swings in this lineup for the Houston Astros.
Pedro Grifol, the manager of the White Sox, trying to get Lynn through the 6th inning. He picked up 2 quick outs, but then Abreu is single, and Kyle Tucker mashed the bomb to center field to make it a 3-2 game. That will be the end of Lance Lynn's night. 3-2 White Sox. The Astros right back in it when we come back.
You getting on with a base hit, and then the big swing from Kyle Tucker, and as a left-handed hitter, that is right in the happy zone. Lance Lynn knew it as soon as that ball left his hand. That did not cut enough to get in on the hands. Kyle Tucker drops the head. Barrel comes flying through, and he releases a 109.8-mile-an-hour bomb to center field, getting the Astros on the board, making this a 1-run game.
Hardest hit baseball for either side tonight as Tuck drills one to center field, 437 feet. Now Jimmy Lambert takes over as the new pitcher for the White Sox. He'll face Corey Julks. Julks hits one high down the left field line. It's got the distance, but he hooked it a little too much as he misses his first big league home run in a tie game by about 25 feet.
That would have been too good, TK. Julks, no, he got a little too quick on that swing off of Jimmy Lambert. 42 games last season, had a couple of starts. The opponent averaged at 227. Julks was trying to put him in his book. Fastball average is right around 95 miles an hour. Might have been a little bit of a cross up there. But I like the idea of Julks going up there looking for a pitch and getting to it.
Lambert appeared in 42 games for the White Sox last year with a couple of starts. And that one catches the top of the zone. It's 1-2. Zone has been a pitcher's zone tonight.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be. This ball wants to get back down to the zone, does not. It was a changeup.
That one popped high in the air, foul territory. Gavin Sheets, the first baseman, looks like he has room and does, and puts it away. Crowd re-energized here, though, at Minute Maid Park because of Kyle Tucker's 2-run home run. It is now a 3-2 game. But Seth Martinez might have a say in that as he takes over.
It's good to see Seth Martinez out there on the Minute Maid Diamond for the Houston Astros. Again, numbers game last year limited him to 29 games, but while he was in there in those 29 games, the ERA was amazing at 2.09, 38 strikeouts in 38 2/3 innings. But the big thing was he was able to eat up some of those innings, and he was able to keep opponents at a 187 batting average with that fastball, changeup, cutter, slider, and a little bit of a sweeper, we're calling it, according to StatCast.
Yeah, it's all of a sudden a new term on StatCast this year, and also on MLB Stats Research. They're calling it a sweeper. Martinez not the only one who has that new slider termed a sweeper as he delivers to Tim Anderson. Martinez facing the top of the order here. Anderson has been a tough out for the Astros in this series. Takes one off the plate for a ball. It's 1-1. Seth, 28 years old. His 8th professional season, his 3rd year with the Houston Astros. That one's down and in, 2-1. Martinez had a 187 batting average against last season. Pitched particularly well here in front of the home crowd. Another sellout crowd tonight. 1.77 ERA for Seth here at Minute Maid Park this year. Last year, rather. Fans cannot get enough of their Houston Astros. A little slowly hit ground ball. Bregman's going to barehand. What a play!
Man, That's impressive.
Alex made that decision as he was charging.
I think he made that decision as soon as he understood who the base runner was and how hard that baseball was hit, because it was a do-or-die play. Think about if this ball gets past Alex, it might be a double with the speed of Tim Anderson. But he has shown an unbelievable ability to pick this baseball up on a short hop on the bare hand and come up and throw a strike. That is a lot of work before games, and that's trusting your ability, but it's also great footwork to put yourself in that position to be able to make the grab and then the throw. Alex Bregman, he might want some gold in another part of that uniform, maybe on that left hand.
The best defensive play of the game for either side.
Yeah, this is do or die right here, realizing how fast Tim Anderson is. Impressive play.
1-1 pitch is roped in the right center field, so Robert Jr., who really struggled against Christian Javier, 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts, singles here with 1 away. And now a word from Tax Act.
When you file with Tax Act, life help is easy.
Tax Act.
That is now 9 hits for the White Sox. They are threatening to have back-to-back games against this Astros pitching staff with double figures in hits. Here's Andrew Benintendi. He looped a double in front of Yordan Alvarez down the line for the first of 3 consecutive doubles that knocked Christian Javier out of the game. Javier would go 5 innings plus 3 batters. Phil Maton ended up cleaning up that inning and stranded a runner who he inherited on second base with nobody out. And now Seth Martinez on to the 7th. Counts 1-1.
Good changeup. Really good arm action on that pitch for Seth.
Martinez has faced Benintendi a couple of times. Seth kept going back and forth between Sugarland and Houston last year. That ball hit pretty well to right field. All the way back goes Tucker, and he reaches up and makes a phenomenal play. What a play by the Gold Glover Kyle Tucker.
Sacrificing life and limb to maintain his reign. Gold Glover out there, you can see it on the back of his glove. He had to sell himself out to pick up Seth Martinez on this fly ball, tailing away from him. And that ball jumped out and took a bite out of Tuck as he held on to this baseball. That is a great play.
Wow.
Knowing you're going to have impact like that and still going for it is a very good play by Kyle Tucker.
Little tapper in front of the plate. Maldi will bare hand. Seth Martinez had some defense played behind him in that inning as the Astros keep it a 3-2 game.
He's playing in gold, and he is a Gold Glover out there in right field, picking up Seth Martinez and the Astros, keeping that score right where it's at, 3-2.
Earlier, and a lot of that 2022 team on hand for it, including guys like Jose Altuve, Michael Brantley, who are both on the IL, but of course a huge part of this team. Michael Brantley is actually heading back to West Palm Beach tomorrow. He is still trying to make his way back and be ready for the season. Dana Brown, the GM, said just recently it's going to be about 3 more weeks for Uncle Mike, but very important for him to be here with the club for these first couple of days and take all this in, of course, get his ring, and guys, cheer on Kyle Tucker, who's kind of going off at the moment. So his hype man, Uncle Mike in here, is having a great time. But quickly, guys, chatting with Michael before the season started about what it takes to repeat, and he just quickly said preparation. A little bit of luck does help. We know how hard it is, but this team does nothing but come prepared every day, so he's hopeful.
David Hensley leads off with a base hit here. He's the tying run in the bottom half of the 7th inning, facing the former Astro Kendall Graveman.
It's good to see Uncle Mike being able to pick up the hardware. A little disappointed that he couldn't be a part of that World Series team on the field, but he was a huge asset to have in that dugout, working with guys in their swings, the mentality of getting through that tough World Series. So he's another one that is like Jose Altuve, that just his mere presence brings something to the table for this ball club. So it's good to see him be able to get out here, be in front of the fans, and knowing that he's coming back at any point during this season for me is a bonus, and I'm glad that he is coming back and wearing that Astros orange and blue.
As Julia mentioned, the special relationship with Kyle Tucker as Jake Myers grounds one to short. That is a double play. So Hensley with a leadoff hit to right field is erased on the double play ground ball induced by Kendall Graveman. When he's on, he gets a lot of ground ball outs.
Yeah, he's a heavy sinker guy. We learned that about him when he was an Astro. Now pitching in his 2nd season here with the Chicago White Sox. 65 innings, 66 strikeouts, AL leader in holds.
Graveman faced Martin Maldonado last night, and the former battery mate Maldi ended up with a base hit against him. Graveman pitching for the 2nd straight night. Last night threw just 11 pitches in his 1 inning of work as Maldi was erased on a double play ground out by Mauricio Dubon in last night's game. Astros have 4 hits now, 3 in the last 2 innings. They're able to cash in a couple of runs with the Kyle Tucker home run, and of course Tucker would go to the bench and sit down right next to his buddy Uncle Mike after that 2-run home run. 2-0 pitch is in as Maldi now has a 3-0 count with Jeremy Pena at the top of the order waiting on deck. First pitch swinging were Hensley and Myers. That didn't have to be, but it's called a strike. Sugarland Space Cowboys will start their season. They are just playing in El Paso tonight for their first game of the year. Pedro Leon, Joe Perez, Corey Lee, Justin Dearden, all part of that opening day lineup for the Space Cowboys. As you see Brian Abreu warming up, he'll be the first Astros pitcher to appear in 2 games this year. Two pitch is low, ball 4. Maldi draws the walk. He's been on base twice now in the last 2 nights against Graveman.
Time now to name that Astro, powered by Reliant. We are going to give you 3 clues when we play Name That Astro, powered by Reliant. Tonight you've got Knock Their Socks Off, Driving Miss Daisy, and Baseball Iron Man. If you know who that Astro is, you got to be sure to go to @ATT Sportsnet SW. Tell us who you think it is, and you got to hang out for a little bit. We'll bring you the answer later.
Jeremy Pena facing Kendall Graveman takes a called strike. Pena's only faced Graveman once in his career, and he grounded out. Jeremy off the end of the bat, coming in Benintendi. He'll play it on a hop. Astros have 2 runners on. For a second, I thought Benintendi might go for the full-out dive, but in a 1-run game, he plays it on the hop, and Pena has himself his first hit of the night.
No offense to Martin Maldonado, but I think that they would like to see Benintendi lay out for that pitch, for that fly ball right there, because I was with you. I anticipated Benintendi trying to relive 2018 by coming in and laying out for that and making a great play to keep Pena off it. But now you've got a couple of base runners on with 2 outs, and you're heading into the meat of this order. So it might have been an opportunity to try and make that great play. I was surprised.
No, your point is well taken. The lead runner, Maldi, even if you don't come up with it on a dive, is probably not going to score.
Exactly. And you do everything you can to try and avoid these situations right here. Multiple runners on and Alex Bregman at the dish.
Benintendi had a long way to go for that fly ball.
So there you see Benintendi in that circle, and he will be moving to the left on this softly hit fly ball. I thought there was plenty of air underneath it. Watch him pull up. I thought he pulled up kind of early and took a bad angle to it.
It had a 40% catch probability according to MLB research.
Wow, seems pretty high for a guy like Benintendi.
Well, Ethan Katz will come out and talk with Kendall Graveman here. They already had a mound visit with Yasmani Grandal going out to talk to him, so this will be the second mound visit before pitch is thrown to Alex Bregman. Now a word from TXU Energy. So Katz going over the scouting report on Bregman. Bregman knows Kendall Graveman very well. He is 5 for 12 against Graveman with a double and a home run. In fact, his last 5 plate appearances against Graveman have been single, walk, homer, strikeout, and single. So Alex with good numbers against the former Astro who was acquired by the Mariners in a trade deadline deal a couple of years ago, along with Rafael Montero for Joe Smith and Abraham Toro.
This will be Kendall Graveman's last hitter for sure, no matter if he gets out of the inning or gives up that base hit. So I'd imagine he's going to empty the tank, maybe see a little ramp up in that velocity.
Bregman looking for his first hit of the season. This would be quite an opportune time for that. Jake Diekman, the lefty, warming up in case Bregman keeps the inning alive with Yordan Alvarez on deck.
Fans are starting to feel it.
Line drive, hook foul, 1-1.
Got out ahead of that curveball just a little bit. I think Alex might have been sitting on that, recognized it early, and it was still hovering out over the middle part of the plate. Just got a little bit too antsy.
Missed the top of the zone, 2-1.
Good take. We also know that these at-bats are not foreign to Alex Bregman and many Astros. They embrace these moments.
Same pitch. Just missed the top of the zone, 3-1. Bregman's got a career OPS against the White Sox of over 1,000. Biggest pitch of this game so far. Up and in, ball 4. The bases will be loaded. Kendall Graveman will not face Yordan Alvarez. Alvarez will face the lefty Jake Diekman. Pedro Grifol waiting to come out of the White Sox dugout. And here he comes. It'll be lefty on lefty when we come back. 1-run game, and the big man, Yordan Alvarez, due up.
By Yordan Alvarez in 2022. He has plenty of power going up the middle and the other way. You make a mistake and he has the ability to pull it. It could go a long way. Plenty of shots up into that second tank. So Yordan Alvarez had a home run on opening day, looking to do some damage right here as he faces a familiar foe in Jake Diekman.
Jake Diekman, veteran left-hander, 36 years of age. Diekman takes more time than anybody else on that White Sox pitching staff with the bases empty and runners on, so the pitch clock could be an issue for him as he adjusts his pitch comp here. Yordan Alvarez is already in the box, and the pitch timer's down to 10 seconds, and we have not seen it reset by the home plate umpire, Rob Drake, and he's going to give up a ball here to start the at-bat unless they call time, but you can't call time with less than 3 seconds left, I thought. He was not ready to pitch.
Well, it's technically going to be a mound visit.
So this will be their 3rd mound visit within one batter. Diekman was adjusting his pitch comp.
That's another thing the home plate umpire has to worry about is if he sees that hand go up, he says no, you have to go to the mound if you want to stop the clock.
And he has to go to the mound before it gets to 0. He has to start walking out to the mound. He can't just say time and stand there. We saw that yesterday with a catcher violation. So, Blummer, the last time Yordan was in this building facing a lefty,
what happened?
Game 6 of the World Series against Jose Alvarado. And as Joe Davis aptly put on the World Series broadcast, he turned that game upside down. A chance to do it again. Down and away, ball one. Alvarez has faced Diekman 9 times in his career, and he's reached base 5 of those 9, including the last 4 head-to-head matchups. 2 hits and 2 walks. Base is full of Astros in a 1-run game. Jordan sends one into left field. Pretty well hit. Back goes Benintendi all the way back. And it's off the wall. 1 run scores. 2 runs score. Here comes Alex Bregman. He is safe.
TK, it's that man again.
He turned this game upside down.
As he can do with one swing of the bat. Right-handed, left-handed. Velocity, off speed. The man is poised at the plate to go up and do damage. And this is a fastball out over the plate at 96 miles an hour. This is going to sound crazy, but that was a little bit towards the label. So he muscled that off that left center field wall.
What?
Big swings and big moments. Jordan Alvarez. This offense needed a jolt. They're getting it here in the last 2 innings.
This rally started with 2 outs and nobody on after the double play ground out by Jake Myers. Maldonado drew a walk. Jeremy Pena floated one into left field that I think Andrew Benintendi wishes he made a dive for now. Alex Bregman drew a walk against Kendall Graven, and then Jordan Alvarez cleared the bases and has this entire sellout crowd standing. 41,453. And they are fired up after that bases clearing double. Benintendi didn't miss making a spectacular catch by very much. That one's off the base of the wall.
He gave it a good run. He's a very good left fielder, and that was the idea of bringing him in here with that bat, was to play a competent left field because they've been lacking. But he had a couple of opportunities in this inning and missed.
Line drive right in on the hands of Moncada. Abreu hits it hard, but he lines out. But a huge 3-run bases clearing double by Jordan Alvarez. The big man fired up, and a 5-3 Astros lead.
At Saturday's game, we'll take home a Jeremy Pena ALCS and World Series MVP bobblehead presented by Coca-Cola. Visit Astros.com/promotions for tickets today. TK.
Julia, what an inning it was for the Astros. Some great defense in the top half of the 7th. A 3-run bases clearing double by Jordan Alvarez in the bottom of the 7th. And now Brian Abreu on in the 8th.
Big right arm. There's a reason he's pitching with the lead late in the ball game. He earned that last year with as well as he had done. An electrifying fastball, great slider, occasional curveball, changeup will be mixed in there, but he is high octane and is used to these high leverage moments.
This crowd is just settling back into their seats after that excitement of the bottom half of the 7th inning. Yoan Moncada leading things off against Abreu. Moncada takes a strike. It's 1-1. Astros led last night's game 1-0 before the White Sox tied it up and then took a 3-1 lead and eventually won 3-2. This ball is a base hit into right field off the bat of Moncada. That's 3 consecutive hits for Moncada. He's on base to start the 8th.
This week on Astros Bases Loaded, Christian Javier talks about his upbringing and his brand new contract. And his teammates discuss what it will take to go back to back. All that and more on Astros Bases Loaded tonight after the postgame show.
Abreu trying to keep the score where it is and give Ryan Presley an opportunity. After he had a rare blip last night, giving up a couple of runs in the 9th inning. Gavin Sheets takes a pitch inside, but he went too far, says third base umpire and crew chief Bill Miller. It's 0-1. So Jordan Alvarez, who last faced a lefty in the 6th game of the World Series and hit one over the batter's eye against Jose Alvarado, faces a lefty tonight and changes the game again. It's to the point now where you have to think about lefty on lefty because that's the natural suggestion, but Jordan is equal opportunity.
Yeah, nothing really seems to faze him. He's overly prepared when he gets in the box, but his stance, his physical prowess, his swing, everything's on balance. So that allows him to see the ball that much longer, and I think that's why he's so effective against left-handed pitchers, because he keeps that front shoulder closed, he watches the ball out of the hand, and it doesn't matter velocity. What amazes me is you think of that crossfire from Diekman at 96, that it might tie him up a little bit, but he still gets the barrel to it. I mean, he is actually an unbelievable hitter.
He is a special offensive power. Yasmani Grandal bats after that strikeout of Gavin Sheets, and Brian Abreu firing some strikes now after that hit by Moncada. Grandal 1 for 3 tonight. Abreu pitched a shutout 6th inning last night, getting Moncada, Benintendi, and Grandal in order. Now foul, and it's 0-2.
Here it is again. There's no panic in the swing of Yordan. He just gets that foot up and down and ready for 96. But again, good hitters hit bad pitches. That was a bad pitch that was crushed.
Grandal a double play candidate if he hits one towards David Hensley. Instead, it's a called third strike. Nasty pitch by Brian Abreu for the second out.
Time for the reveal of our Name That Astro, powered by Reliant. We gave you those 3 clues. Hopefully you got to at ATT Sportsnet and let us know. Who is that Astro? Jose Abreu. Welcome to the Astros organization. There he is. 3rd all-time in White Sox history with 243 home runs. Number 79. Honor of his mother, Daisy. It's good to know.
Abreu firing strikes, 9 out of 10 strikes so far for Brian Abreu as he gets ahead of Oscar Colas 0-1. Colas 0 for 2 was hit by a pitch by Phil Maton in the 6th inning.
Oh, man. Woo. That looks really good from up here.
Might as well go back there, right?
Well, he did it to Sheets. This was a similar sequence that he used on Gavin Sheets with the power slider down and in and getting some funky swings. That is a beautiful back leg slider from Abreu. Against Sheets, he doubled up on it and went back down in there. He may do the same thing to Colas right here.
Oh, beautiful job, Brian Abreu. He's got nasty stuff. His strikeout percentage the best of all the Astros as he shuts them down after that initial hit, striking out 3 in a row. Sheets, Grandal, and Colas all go down. America is important to you. Shop Gallery Furniture today. And by Budweiser Zero, reminding you to always plan ahead for a safe ride home. From your friends at Silver Eagle Distributors, Houston. Astros had not shown much of a sign of life offensively until Kyle Tucker connected on a 2-run home run in the bottom of the 6th inning. That made it a 3-2 game with Tucker's first of the year, coming off a 30 home run season last year, matching his gold number. Jose Abreu preceded him with a 2-out single, setting the table for Tucker's 437-foot blast. Tucker's first hit of the season, as he made it a 3-2 game and knocked Lance Lynn out of the game in the 6th inning. 1-1 the count, facing the lefty Jake Diekman, who is facing his 3rd batter. There is our righty Jose Ruiz warming up in the bullpen, with right-handers due up next. That ball hooked down the line. Tucker doesn't leave the batter's box, so you know that's foul. Tucker a little out in front of that one. 2-2. When you think about the top of the 7th going into the bottom of the 7th, Plummer, Tucker's play against the wall in right field and Alex Bregman's bare hand play to start the inning kept that at a 1-run game. That was huge.
You're absolutely correct. This defense is what has made very good pitching staffs that much better. And you can be as clutch as anybody at the plate, but you can also be clutch out on defense too. And we've seen some big plays on defense over the years.
About that Bregman and Tucker play, that's a 2 or 3 run inning at least.
And pitch counts start to rise, things like that. But when you get big plays made behind you, it'll pump you up a little bit, lower that ERA. There's a little bit of that defense Slow roller off the bat of Tim Anderson, who can fly. Short hop barehand by Bregman, gets him by a step. And then you see some of the range of Kyle Tucker, but he knew there was doom coming. Yet he put his head down and went after it and got it.
In on Tucker's hand, no swing, says Bill Miller. That'll be a leadoff walk for the Astros. The lefty Jake Diekman facing Yordan Alvarez, Jose Abreu, and Kyle Tucker. So his night is done as he faces a couple of lefties in the Astros lineup. We'll have the righty Jose Ruiz, the new pitcher, in a 5-3 Houston lead when we come back.
W. Which historical postseason run is the current Astros golden age most comparable to? And the Reds in the 70s, 1970-76, wins with 35%. Braves come in second. Oh, actually tied with the Giants, both at 24%, TK.
All right, Julia, first row poll of the season for us. Pretty good voting right there as Jose Ruiz takes over for the White Sox in the 8th.
Big right-hander for the Chicago White Sox, 63 games last season, allowed 9 home runs. He can bring it a little bit, averaging 97 miles an hour on his fastball, backs that up with a changeup and a curveball.
Here is Corey Julks getting his 4th at bat of his major league debut. Julks, who's from the Sagemont area, went to Clearbrook High School in Friendswood. Baseball and football player for the Wolverines before attending University of Houston. And in his first major league at bat, picked up a single in the left field. Julks now 1 for 3 tonight. Played for Gene Flores at Clearbrook, and then Todd Whitting, the UH baseball coach, before he was drafted in the 8th round of 2017. After he went to West Palm Beach, which his dad referenced in the middle of 2021, he had 12 home runs his last 49 games, got into his legs a little bit, changed some things with his swing, and then followed up with 31 bombs last year. Now a 2-0 count. Julks takes a 96-mile-an-hour fastball for a strike. Gotta love the story of a 27-year-old who was left unprotected on the 40-man roster. Thought he might get selected by another major league team. Nobody took a chance on Corey, and here he is playing for his hometown team. Big swing, no contact, 2-2. Leadoff walk to Kyle Tucker. That one's fouled away.
Yeah, it's one thing just to break with a ball club and realize that you have achieved that dream of getting to the big leagues. Never mind what it takes to stay here, but getting to the big leagues and getting that announcement that you're going to be on that opening day roster and then realize that you're going to put on the hometown uniform.
And it's gold.
That's unbelievable.
It's golden.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss. Tucker on the go. Had a late start, but he still gets in there. Tucker, who last year was 25 of 29 in steals, picks up his first bag of the season.
Just the beginning for Kyle Tucker, whose success rate is very high. Took a peek in on that 2-strike pitch. Kind of delayed that slide a little bit there. You see him peeking in and eventually getting down, beating that throw. Get used to that.
Wouldn't be a shock to see Tuck go 30-30 this year with the new rules.
Yes, please.
Here's David Hensley. Ooh,
wow.
That one did not have to be a strike. That was well off the inside corner. Hensley knows the strike zone as well as just about anybody. For a rookie, especially last year, he's got a really good idea of the zone.
Yeah, I've lost a lot of my eyesight, and I could have told you that was out of the zone.
Hey,
they tried it. They tried.
Trying to see how far they could go. 1-1 the count. Hensley has drawn a walk tonight. He's also singled. He is 1 for 2, getting his first start of the season. David last year had 80 walks in 104 games at AAA and also scored 80 runs. That one's up. Could be 3-0. Instead, it's 2-1. Well, it's not going to be Ryan Presley tonight. Rafael Montero looks like he will get the call for the 9th inning as the Astros lead this game 5-3. 3-1.
Ruiz is wondering where the zone went.
Ruiz last year walked 33 in 60 innings. Did strike out 68. Missed that heater, and the count's full. Hensley checking with Rob Drake to see if he would have called that a strike had he not offered. Tucker.
What did the coin say?
Tucker in scoring position with 1 out. Hey, a ground ball right side. That's going to get through. David Hensley on base for the 3rd time tonight. Tucker scores easily. It's now a 6-3 game on the RBI single by David Hensley.
Quality AB right there by Hensley. And again, with Tucker's ability to steal himself into scoring position, allows the opportunity for a base hit to drive him in. In that 3-2 count, take a fastball away, shoot it the other way, and hit it hard enough to get it past that second baseman, Elvis Andrus. That allows Kyle Tucker to come around and score that 6th run.
He's got some good vibes going this weekend, does Hensley, his first start of the season. And he just draws a balk by Jose Ruiz. Hensley thought he saw something awry, and the home plate umpire Rob Drake agreed with him and gives him the ball.
Well, it looked like Ruiz caught a spike because he was completely off balance when he made that pickoff throw to first base.
But Hensley tonight in his first start, 2 for 3 with a walk. He's driven in a run with that last base hit. And now his alma mater, San Diego State, will play in the Final Four beginning tomorrow down the road.
You see that awkward move that was called a balk. He didn't really step back. He stepped towards third base on that pickoff. But yeah, he might be cheering a little bit harder for San Diego State, realizing that he's got a couple of knocks. There's a potential victory for him and his Astros to start this 2023 season. And of course, our first broadcast. But Aztecs will be playing just down the road.
I got to find out from, unless Julie already knows, I got to find out from him tomorrow if he might go to those semifinals tomorrow.
I would imagine he's got to try and make an effort to represent the alma mater.
Day game tomorrow for the Astros. There goes Hensley, 0-2 pitches up. Grandal's throw, not in time. Head first slide by Hensley. He stole 20 bags last year at AAA, and he has his first of the season at the big league level for the Astros.
Element of surprise right there on that stolen base. Not somebody who anticipates stealing some bags, but a nice walking lead, shuffle and go. High throw might have allowed him to sneak in there and get in there, and they're not going to review the White Sox side, and we'll see why.
He did steal 20 bags last year at AAA, so he is definitely a stolen base threat as he gets to third base here. Now he'll draw the infield in for Jake Myers. Myers down in the count 1-2. This will give him an opportunity to try and sneak one through the infield and add to the lead. Close play at third.
Yeah, he pulls back that left hand and shoots that right hand in there to beat the tag.
Surprised the White Sox didn't challenge that at this point of the game, even if you fail.
Yeah, why not this late? Another run.
Myers tried to hold up, but he goes too far, and that'll be a strikeout. Second out of the inning.
Monday, April 3rd is Autism Awareness Night at Minute Maid Park. Experience unique pregame ceremonies, activities around the ballpark, and don't forget your Astros Autism Awareness Night hat add-on. Visit astros.com/autism awareness for more information.
Tough night for Jake. He did draw a walk, but 0 for 3 now with a couple of strikeouts and a double play. Maldonado with 2 outs sends one high in the air to left field. Left center to be exact, where Andrew Benintendi will call off Robert Jr. But the Astros add to their lead. They get an RBI single by David Hensley. And Rafael Montero will be on to try and close this one out. It's 6-3 Astros. Let's go places. We are going to the 9th inning, where the Astros lead at 6-3. Last night, Ryan Presley pitched the 9th. Rafael Montero pitched the 8th, but tonight they're going to give the ball to Montero and try and close this one out.
Yeah, the Astros are lucky enough to have a couple of arms out there that can replace Ryan Presley at moments. And Rafael Montero is one of those guys. You can see that bottom line as you look at the numbers throughout the course of the 2022 season, as Rafael Montero appeared in 71 games, 14 of 16 in those save opportunities. He does have 29 saves over his career, starting back in 2014 with the New York Mets, but now here with an Astro. Nice contract and nice numbers.
Yes, he did. He signed a new contract in the offseason. He's the guy that whenever Presley wasn't available last year, we get the ball in a closing role. And he'll face the number 9 hitter to start things off, Elvis Andrus, and then back to the top of the order for Tim Anderson. First pitch home is inside, ball 1. Astros 6 runs on 7 hits tonight. 6 of the 7 hits coming in the last 3 innings. 5 of the 7 hits coming in the last 3 innings. They also had 1 back in the 5th. The White Sox with double figures hits for the 2nd straight game. They have 10 hits and they have scored 3 runs. Montero with a 1-1 count here, facing the second baseman Elvis Andrus. Andrus chops a foul at the plate. Andrus was added to the White Sox roster last year after he was designated for assignment, put on waivers by the A's. And the White Sox picked him up because Tim Anderson was out for the remainder of the year. He had that left hand injury. Now Andrus playing second base, and fouls went off to stay alive. It's 1-2. Andrus coming into this game had 1,998 hits. He had an infield hit in the 5th. He is 1 hit away from 2,000 career hits. Only 3 active players have 2,000 or more hits. Again, staying alive is still 1-2. Seems like a lot of those have come over the years against the Astros with all his time in the AL West.
Yeah, he's been a bit of a nuisance. No matter what uniform he's been wearing, a lot of them with the Rangers, a couple with the Oakland A's, and now with the White Sox. Always has very good at bats, fights pitches off. Just one of those savvy veterans that has worked out for some of these ball clubs.
Playing in his 15th major league season is Elvis Andrus. Here's the 1-2 pitch home. Ground ball towards Bregman. He picks it off. 1 big hop. It makes the play. Always the big out to start the inning in the 9th. 1 out. Back to the top of the order.
We always talk about those closers that come in. Getting that first out of the inning is one of the more important outs in all of the game. Just means so much for the confidence, and don't doubt that it means a lot to those 8 guys playing behind Rafael Montero too. Getting that first out kind of sets the inning in your favor.
Montero pitching in the first 2 games of this season as he delivers a strike to Tim Anderson, 0-1. Montero appeared in 71 games, 3rd most in the American League last year. There's a line drive, and Anderson has done it again. He hits it over the head of the 6'6" second baseman David Hensley. He's on base for the 3rd time tonight and the 6th time in the series. Get out and play is driven by Toyota. The Astros have had a magical run. It is truly the golden era of Astros baseball. 5 consecutive full season division titles, not counting the pandemic season. And then when you get to the postseason, the most wins of any team in Major League Baseball, 53, and the most games, 86. The next closest, the Dodgers, and then you go to the Yankees and the Braves. If you add up the Yankees and Tampa Bay total games in the American League of postseason, that's 76. So 2nd and 3rd most in the AL do not add up to the number of games the Astros have played in the postseason since this magical run started.
Wow. Trying to understand, you almost have half a season of postseason baseball under your belt. The last 6-7 years for the Astros is remarkable.
They were the favorite to win the World Series again this year, according to the odds on opening day. 1-1 the count to Luis Robert Jr. Robert Jr. went 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts against Christian Javier, and then had a single against Seth Martinez. Astros get the benefit of a big zone there. It's 1-2. Robert didn't like that call on the 1-1 pitch.
Well, if you take that pitch into account with the one that David Hensley got, that plate was wide. It's like 1999. Good effort. You got to appreciate it. I mean, I'm not going to knock a pitcher who gets that call off the outside corner and tries it again. Try and find that edge.
Anderson on first base. 1 out. Astros up 3. Now the count runs full. Montero last year appeared in 10 of the 13 postseason games and carried a sub-2 ERA. Appeared in every game of the divisional series, 3 out of 4 in the CS, and 4 out of 6 in the World Series. He was part of that no-hitter started by Christian Javier in Game 4 in Philadelphia. 3-2 pitch and a swing and a miss. Big out for Montero, getting Luis Robert. That's out number 2 in the 9th.
There's somebody else with gold on the field, and it's Luis Roberts with the golden sombrero. 4th strikeout of the game. It's a great visual on that two-seam action at 95 miles an hour. You can see on our MD Anderson strike zone, it doesn't get much better than that, down and in.
Now Montero facing Andrew Benintendi. Last chance for the White Sox. Benintendi 1 for 4 was robbed on a great play by Kyle Tucker that kind of turned the game around in the 7th inning. Would have been a run-scoring extra base hit. Instead, it was out number 2 of the 7th inning and sets up Seth Martinez for a potential win tonight. Martinez had great D by Bregman and Tucker behind him in that inning. The count's 1-1. $41,453 sold out crowd tonight at Minute Maid Park. Upstairs for a ball, 2-1. Benintendi signing a lucrative 5-year, $75 million deal with the White Sox this offseason. All-Star a couple of years ago with the Royals. A bit high, 3-1. For Rafael Montero, you would prefer to face Benintendi here with the tying run on deck than bring the tying run to the plate in Eloy Jimenez. So he needs to deliver a strike here. Towards right field, long run, Tucker. He's going to get there and he puts it away. Astros are winners 6-3. They have evened up their record at 1 apiece. Plummer, that was a nice come from behind win, down 3-0.
It really was. You've got some pretty good starting pitching in Christian Javier. The bullpen comes in and does what they do. They shut things down. We saw an entire ball game from this Houston Astros ball club. Good pitching, great defense on some big plays, and we also saw some timely hitting. The big homer from Kyle Tucker, and of course Yordan Alvarez with that big double driving in everybody off the bases. So fun team win for the Houston Astros.
The 2 lefties in the lineup drive in 5 of the 6 runs tonight. Astros win at 6-3. The Astros postgame show presented by Whataburger will be coming your way shortly. It'll be Kevin Eschenfelder and Mike Stanton hosting tonight. They'll have all the highlights, the sound from the clubhouse, all that coming up on the postgame show right around the corner.